It's where students discuss their views. It's Cat Chat, brought to you by Northwest Student Media.
And thanks for tuning in with us here on Cat Chat. I'm your host, Jordan Johnson. I'm super excited about discussing some of the controversial topics that we have for you today. But first, I'm going to give my panelists the opportunity to introduce themselves real quick.
Hello, I'm Sydney Otter.
Hello, I'm Artie Tubble.
Hello, I'm Trevor.
Thanks for joining us today, guys. Like I said, I'm thrilled and excited to jump off. So first thing we're going to talk about is a lot of things that's going on right now in the city of Charlotte. From cops shooting, another individual, he happens to be another African-American male. But first, before we jump into that a little bit, I want to, talk about a new bill that's been passed in the House and Senate up that way. They are currently saying that individuals that identify as an opposite sex they cannot use the restroom that they're comfortable with. They must walk through the restroom doors that they are biologically associated with. You were born as a man or a woman, so you must use the men and women's restrooms. Thoughts and opinions about that? Do you feel like people should be able to just use the restroom if they want to, or do you feel like they have like total right to go ahead and like pass this law to kind of keep down, on some of the issues that keep arising?
Honestly, I think this is a stupid bill. I've thought that since it was proposed. Why should I, if I identify as a male, have to go to the bathroom in a woman's bathroom? Like, I'm not a woman anymore, I'm a man, and I identify with that.
Right.
So why would I have to go to an opposite bathroom and feel uncomfortable and make others feel uncomfortable?
Okay.
I feel like it's a good bill. Like, if you're a man, you go in a man's bathroom. If you're a woman, you go in a woman's bathroom. Like, why would you? It's just biologically, we know you're a woman or a man. Like, it's just we know that we have the same type of body parts as a woman and female. So just use it, and then you can still go outside of that and just be whoever you want to be. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that it all depends. It's all the place. Like, if you are a male that's transgendering into a female, but you still have those parts, I feel like you should use the restroom of your biological self.
Right.
But if you are a male and you turn into a female and you have all the parts that reconstructed, then I'll feel comfortable for you to use the restroom in the female's restroom, because now you really identify yourself as a female now.
Okay.
So, anything that you do from here and foremost is you. It's a new life. So.
Got you. But yeah, with this new bill, like they're tending to lose a lot of funding, throughout the city of Charlotte, facing discrimination charges, diversity charges, and inequality charges. But some of the things that like really bothered me initially, and I was hearing some conversations about, was again, like you guys mentioned, the transgender individuals, those individuals that are still going through the process of becoming the opposite sex or becoming comfortable with who they are, like inside. With that being said, like, is it discriminatory for us to design or construct a restroom that is only for them? Is that an option that we should explore? Because then how do we see transgender men and women? Do they both attend this restroom, or should there be a transgender man and transgender woman restroom? Thoughts?
That to me is like using like colored water fountains and white water fountains. Like, why do we have to have two separate things for them?
I say it's like another kind of segregation going just for the transgenders, because it's like their own wars. Like, it was black lives and then white lives. Now it's transgenders with just everyone, because they could be black or white. So it's like now you're rushing to kind of like go for their own rights and make their own bathroom, because black lives, it took us time to get our own bathroom, or just men and women, you get what I'm saying, with no color, no white. So I feel like it's going to be a long process with that. I think we should just keep it simple with the women and men. Like, if you're transgender, that's your own personal beliefs. Just, we know what type of body you have, or you know what type of body you have. Right. And if you got like surgery done on you and type of stuff, like, that's different. But you're still kind of like, like seen as a man. But if you look like a girl, like, that's kind of hard to know. You get what I'm saying? True. That's kind of hard to know. So that's I honestly don't know. I just feel like we should just keep it men and women, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be another
on the end real quick.
I feel like you should just keep it how it is now, because I feel like if you add another restroom to all these facilities across America, that's more money being involved. And that's more money, which is more taxes that, you know what I'm saying, the middle class will have to take out of, you know what I'm saying, the lower class and all the other stuff. So just keep it as, you know, male and female. If you're transgender, you know your identity, so you just go to your identity.
I like that. Well, we kind of, you know what I'm saying, we're about to wrap up on time here in a little bit, but at the same time, I want to create a segue for us to come into our next topic. You guys mentioned about, you know what I'm saying, kind of touched on like some segregation in there, and I want to talk about a little bit of the police brutality versus that's being brought up a lot now in our culture. So hope you guys continue to tune in with us, and I'm excited. I can already see the intrigueness on my panelist's face. So continue to tune in with us, and we'll see you in just a moment. Thank you.
It's where students discuss their views. It's Cat Chat, brought to you by Northwest Student Media.
All right, thank you again for continuing to tune in with us here on Cat Chat. We're back, about to start off our next discussion. We just wrapped up some of the issues that's been going on in Charlotte, facing some of the discrimination as far as homosexuals and transgenders go. But now I want to just kind of slide over a little bit and talk about some more of the diversity and equality issues that they're facing up that way. Recently, yet another African-American male has been shot by by a police officer, shot and killed by that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it hurts my heart to hear, and you know what I'm saying, about this again. And we could discuss the whole Black Lives Matter movement as much as anybody else or any other show. But right now, I really want to, you know what I'm saying, like focus in and zone in on the role and the position of what it means to be a police officer. Why is it that these cases continue to happen? What is it? Is it a power struggle? Is it, you know what I'm saying, people and putting the wrong people in position to make these type of decisions? I just want to give you guys an opinion and feedback. Like, first of all, when you first heard about, you know what I'm saying, another African American being shot, and then your own personal experiences maybe with police officers.
Well, I am a child of a police officer, so
All right.
yeah, that makes it kind of difficult. But I know that we do talk about it a lot in my house, and it's a lot of the time we feel as the police officers that are shooting these innocent men or women that it's a lot of the time it's an officer that's corrupt, and you don't know that that's happening until it happens, and they're racist, and you can't do anything. You can't necessarily pick out a racist in a crowd of people.
Yeah, I can see where it would be difficult. What do we, like, once this person has been identified, what should be the result or the acting outcome for, I mean, like, if I found out that you're a racist and you're an officer, should you remain an officer, or should there be some type of, I don't know, like, there should be a punishment there? You know what I mean? Like, what are we standing on?
I mean, you wouldn't honestly know if they're racist or not, only if they say they're racist. Because, you know, when you apply for a job, they don't care about that. They just want to know about your experience. They don't want to, and you know, kind of your reasoning of why you want to join the job. You can BS that as much as you want. They can't find out if you're racist or not. But only way to find out if you're racist is only if they say it. You know, like kind of like with our phones, cameras type stuff, or you just see them acting in violent ways, you know, like, because we got our phones now, so we get to see, like, if he's been doing this numerous times, we got people with your phone, it's always black people or always, you know, this type of person, you know, like, we would, you know, they can use that in court, you know, and like try to, you know.
I mean, you say that, you know what I'm saying, like, I remember a question that's like frequently asked every time I go for a job interview. They always ask this what if, you know what I'm saying, question, like, if you were in this situation and, you know what I'm saying, the customer came in and was cursing you out, like, how would you respond? Yeah. You know what I mean? I just know that there's a more extensive process that officers go through, you know what I mean, that asking them these what if questions. If there was a culprit or a person that was acting out or behaving in a way, like, how would you respond, or what would be the appropriate action? Like, again, like you talk about, like, we wouldn't know until they reveal themselves. Are these questions not being asked? Are they not, you know what I'm saying, looking into their experiences prior to these things. I mean, you said like you had these type of discussions within your own family. Like, I don't know, like how do these people get these positions? And then what's it supposed to look like to be an officer? Or what should we look for in identifying these officers? Ronjay, you haven't got the chance to speak yet. If you have any thoughts?
I'll answer the question that you just asked. So, what if I was a cop in the situation? I feel like if you are a police officer, you're trained to protect and serve.
Yes.
And then what I mean by that is, you know, you should abide by all the laws that are passed and billed in Congress. And dealing with firearms, you should approach every situation with the thought of cautious, and you want to go home at the end of the day.
Yes.
But you gotta understand that when being a police officer, it's a psychological thing with it also, because you gotta get to know people, you gotta talk to them, and all this stuff. So with the recent police shootings and stuff like that, I just feel like it's just based off hostility and a lot of anxious movements. That's all.
I honestly think that a lot of it has to do with my grandpa was a police officer for 25 plus years, and he said that he built a stereotype in his head, and he knew going into a house what it was going to be like. And he was like, I was pleasantly surprised if it didn't turn out that way. But he said most of the time, 99% of the time, it did go the way he thought it was going to go, because that's how he was trained to see it.
That's crazy. I mean, to be an officer or be somebody in a position of authority and already have these stigmas and these thoughts built up in your mind, causing you to, even if you are a good person and you want to love and appreciate everybody, but these stigmas is going to control you, especially when a situation pops up that seems a little bit out of your control. Like you want to act on instinct versus using the timeliness like you have. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I have a moment here to think. Okay, this person is unarmed, or this person is not threatening anyone else's lives with their own. Maybe I should act in a different way according to, you know what I'm saying, like my past experience. But I appreciate you guys, you know what I'm saying, opinions and perspectives right now on this here topic. And we're going to, you know what I'm saying, jump into something else that's deep and continuing to intrigue our viewers and our listeners out there. So I hope you continue to tune in with us. I'm your host, Jordan Johnson. We'll be back in a minute.
It's where students discuss their views. It's Cat Chat, brought to you by Northwest Student Media.
All right, here we are again, about to jump into our very next topic. I'm telling you, today is making people think. So recently, Disney has released this new movie called Moana. It's going to be great. So if you get the opportunity to go out and, you know what I'm saying, check it out, please do. But the issue that we're going to, you know what I'm saying, address today is that they released a costume, you know what I'm saying. You know, Halloween is coming up, so everybody wants to be a new character and, you know what I'm saying, do something new and, you know what I'm saying, trending. Well, they released a costume that had the brown skin and the tattoos that would resemble or make you truly into a Pacific Islander. But Disney quickly retracted that, you know what I'm saying, those costumes, because they saw the inappropriateness of it in mocking or imitating a culture there. You know what I mean? Because the Islanders, you know what I'm saying, they take a lot of deep meaning into the tattoos and some of the traditions that they have there. So with that being said, I wanted to kind of just bring that up and see what you guys thought about that. Like, do you feel that would it have been appropriate to have wore a costume that made you into a dark-skinned, tattooed individual? Or what about, and then how does this, you know what I'm saying, like, but articulate with the whole trend of individuals wearing blackface or whiteface? So first, you know what I'm saying, we could, you know what I'm saying, touch on would you say that the costume is appropriate?
I think for a little girl, pulling a costume that would make her be her favorite princess is kind of a little ridiculous. The little girl doesn't know that having not her color of skin is wrong.
Right.
So that to me is like a strange thing, because like now it's almost saying like you can't be Moana, I think is the princess name. Like, you can't be her because you're not her skin color. I think that's kind of crappy.
Got you.
Honestly, I think it's Disney. Like they pulled it, and I say that it was probably like influence, like, you know, kids to get like tattoos. So that's probably like why they would say they took that away, because it can like,
perspective.
you know, like it is start out a whole family with, you know, tattoos, you know, a specific tattoo.
Right.
And it could probably like influence kids to have a tattoo for a good reason or something like that. So
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe
Gotcha.
thinking about like kids.
Well, I feel like, well, I'm glad that Disney pulled the costume idea, because just for the simple fact that it's kind of like, yeah, like you say, you're imitating another culture, and then with that culture comes history.
Yes.
So if you don't know the history, then you imitating the character is somewhat demeaning.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that they pulled it. I'm glad that I feel like the movie is a good idea.
Yes.
And then I feel like they should educate the youth on the actual things that goes on.
That's a really great point. It's a really great point. This is an opportunity for different cultures and different, you know what I'm saying, environments and people from around the world to get to learn about this history, you know what I'm saying, of the Islanders through this movie. So that's a great point. But and we have to run short on time, so we're going to, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and like segue this into our ending topic. But also, real quick, you talked about the simplicity of just being a child and its influence, you know what I'm saying, even when it comes to tattoos or, you know what I'm saying, identifying race. This is a very important, you know what I'm saying, like commitment to, you know what I'm saying, to step in through like, okay, you know what, it's okay for you to wear this costume, but then again, without that education of, you know, it's not okay for you to do this on the regular. You know what I mean? So like how do we go about, you know what I'm saying, not only like having a good time, but also, you know what I'm saying, respecting one's heritage. We're going to jump into that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to leave y'all with those thoughts, let that ponder, let that soak in. And I hope, you know what I'm saying, our listeners and our tuners out there continue to tune in for our last segment, and we'll see you in a second.
It's where students discuss their views. It's Cat Chat, brought to you by Northwest Student Media.
All right, here we are, you know what I'm saying, on the very last segment. You know what I'm saying, thank you for, you know what I'm saying, tuning in with us. You know, usually you'll jump into something a lot more fun and exciting, you know what I'm saying, detailing the stroller. I'm going to throw a quick shout out to you, let you know you did a wonderful job. We want to continue what we've been talking about because the discussion has been great. Now, we just left and we were talking about mimicking and mocking and imitating other cultures. Why is that okay, and why is it so, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, such a cultural norm to mimic and mock another culture for entertainment? And when does that become, you know what I'm saying, like an issue, and why does it become an issue? So the question I want to ask first, you know what I'm saying, is definitely why do we do this, and why is it entertaining to mock someone else's, you know what I'm saying, beliefs and traditions and culture?
It's not okay to mock someone's belief and cultures.
But we tend to do it on our television shows. We have actors, you know what I'm saying, like talking black, or, you know what I'm saying, dressing up like Asians. And so I'm just curious, like, if it's so easy and quick for us to take on the persona of someone else, like, and mostly, you know what I'm saying, and especially in our culture, in our society, we see a lot more prominently white or Caucasian individuals or actors playing these roles. So this is a real deep question, something that came to me earlier before the show is, what does it mean to be white? What's it mean to act white? If I was to say tomorrow, you know what? I don't want to act black. I don't want to act Asian. I know what Mexicans talk like and sound like and what they dress like. I want to be white tomorrow. What would that look like? And why are enough individuals doing that?
I feel like to be white, I feel like you're held to a certain privilege because you had it easy. I'm just being honest. It was easier because you came to America, you established the country, and off that country you base these rules. And with these rules, you base these rules in favor of the majority. And
yes.
The majority at the time was the Caucasian race. So to be white, I feel like you get the 401k, you get the 6 figures once you graduate college. know what I'm saying? You
Right.
You get the retirement plan. You got the big house. You got the acres. You got the land. All that stuff.
Right. So to be honest, I guess to take on the persona of being white, you have to associate yourself and also take on the unearned privilege that was born unto you. So I guess they're almost saying like it's impossible for anyone that is not white to act white. So I mean, if you don't mind me, you know what I'm saying, like taking attention to you, you know what I'm saying, we have this opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to have you here on the show. Like, what does that look like? Or do you have your friend groups that, you know what I'm saying, talk black or act black? And then how do you celebrate your own culture? And what is your culture?
Well, my family celebrates Irish culture because we're Irish and German. So I guess we celebrate by drinking. That's a normal thing for us. But I really don't know what it means to be white. To me, it's like, I guess I don't realize that I'm privileged, and it's been pointed out to me multiple times that people are like, you're just some white girl, but which is kind of an insult in itself. Like, oh, you're just some basic white girl. It's like a normal thing that I get called almost daily. And it's really frustrating because I don't think I act privileged, or I don't think I act any different than my peers sitting up here.
Right.
I don't really.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I get what you're saying, because some really don't have that feeling. Don't have that feeling of being privileged. Some really see themselves as a human being, like we all are.
Yes.
But you got some with the influence, I should say, the influence of that higher up and the family members that fabricate the reality of what life is. So.
Thank God. That is, oh man. Again, this Thursday has been deep and powerful, and I hope that individuals out there have just these segments today have caused you to challenge or question some of the things that you act out or some of the things that you believe right now. You guys spoke on some really like highlighted topics, and that's like that privilege and also being unaware of the privilege that you have. So I want to thank you again for all of our listeners who are tuning in out there. Again, our panelists, we appreciate you coming in and sharing your perspective and your views. Continue to tune in with us sometime next Thursday. You can also catch us Monday through Thursday on KNWT Channel 8. And thank you again.